So obviously, unfortunately, from our perspective, Luke Dunstan's not available yet. It's turning out to be the longest suspension in the history of Britain, with all the games being cancelled. So we're not going to get him back for Saturday, but we will get him back for Tuesday. Delighted to announce we've signed Ryan Young, who trained with us last week. But to be honest with you, adds a wealth of experience. He adds great energy and great quality. He's a player I've known about for many years. He's obviously played at higher levels, great character, really pleased that he's joined us. So he's going to be massive for us in the final 10 games of this season, and hopefully build towards next season as well. So great to have him on board. It's another week, unfortunately, where we haven't been able to get minutes into players' legs. We go from having too much football to then not enough football. But ultimately, we're sitting there today, we'll get a good session to the players tonight, ready for Saturday. But at the moment, everything seems to be going in the right direction. We've got Jardel Sterling and Terence Mucheneripe had a really good session with Adam Ashton last week. So they're getting closer now to coming back, which is great for us. But we are in a good position with the squad. The squad's got lots of depth to it. We've got real good competition for places, which is what we want, and we're going to need that, especially now with what feels like about 200 games coming at us in the space of a week. So it's going to be a very busy week, but really pleased with how the squad's looking. So I think, if I'm right in saying, with Cockfosters, we were the last side to beat them. They've gone on a fantastic run since. They've obviously beat Leighton, they've beat Risborough, they've had some wonderful results. They've given some teams a good tanking as well. So they're the informed side in the division, along with Leighton Town, and that's testimony to them. I felt on the night, even though it was sort of a 5-1 victory, I did feel on the night that probably flattered us a little bit. We played very well, we were clinical, but they caused us problems. We know they've got a great long throw, they've got good physicality in their team, they put you under pressure, they put balls down your throat, they look to turn you around, and that's exactly what we're expecting on Saturday. And what we have to do is we've got to nullify that, but we've got to make them defend, we've got to ask questions of them. So I don't expect an expansive tiki-taka masterclass. I expect two teams that will roll their sleeves up, two honest teams, two hard-working teams that are going to turn up and have a good old punch-up. And I don't mind those sort of games. And like I said, from our lads, the most important thing is that we continue to do that week after week. And I'm told it's not an easy environment to go to. Their home record's been very good. So it's going to be a tough fixture. I don't see it being anything like it was 6 weeks ago. They've got a few new additions as well. So their squad will look probably a little bit different on Saturday. The conditions at the moment is a gale force wind outside. It's hammering it down with rain. So we're expecting that to have an effect on the game on Saturday. But they're a good side. They find themselves now up to 8th. And as I said, they've been on a wonderful run, and a good run at this time of the season. So we need to make sure that our performance levels are right, like they have to be every single week. If you go there on Saturday and we're below par and we don't put our foot in and we don't do the basic fundamentals well, like head first contacts, pick up second balls, put balls forward, play in the right areas of the pitch. I'm not giving away any secrets here, that's football. And there's a lot of people in this division that seem to have this football snobbery, where they look down their nose when you play balls down people's throats, and there's almost like a dismissive attitude. If you've got that in your tool belt, if you've got a long throw in your tool belt, if you've got the ability to turn teams round, put teams under pressure and win games, who cares? It's about winning. And if that's the way that we have to be on Saturday, then we'll be that way. But if we turn up, as I said, and we're nowhere near our normal levels, then you'll go there and we'll take a good hiding. So that's the message tonight to the players. I'm delighted the conditions are horrible tonight, because I quite like that. It brings an honesty to the group when we're training on a Thursday night, and I'm sure it'll be another fascinating evening. So they come thick and fast. They come off the back of a bit of a hiding on Tuesday versus Stotfold. As I said, Stotfold are having a great momentum, so are Leighton. We're in there at the moment. We do need one or two sides to start doing us a favour. I am mindful and conscious when you start looking at run-ins. I'm just hopeful other managers and other teams that have got nothing to play for this year don't decide to put the flip-flops on, beach towels down, and go into holiday mode, and hopefully they take the game seriously, because, as I said, from our perspective, we want to win every game, and I'm hopeful other players and teams in the spot and want to do exactly the same and disrupt things. And we know that we've given ourselves work to do, but it's well within our capabilities of doing it. Aylesbury Vale on Tuesday night at Aylesbury Vale. I'm expecting a very wet pitch. Like I said, they've got good threats in their team. They're a very different side from the team that started the season. They've got players, in the wide areas that can go past people. They've got good pace. They've got a group of players that have been together quite a long time in the main, and it's going to be a tough game for us. They're all tough. You know, if we went there now, if somebody said to me now, you'll go there and win 1-0, I'll take it all day long. As I said, all I care about is the 3 points. I say it every single week, and that's where we are in the season. Style goes out the window. As I said, if it wants to be a lovely, expansive game of football, we know we can do that. If it's got to be a dogfight, we know we can do that. If it's got to be a real scrappy affair, we know that we can do that. And what we've got to make sure, as I said, is we get back to zeros and ones. And what we've had so far is a crazy week, really, because we've gone from the 14th of March, where we're looking at it going, we've got game after game after game, and then we haven't had a game for now. When we play on Saturday, it will be 11 days, and then we get 4 in 7 days. So we know with the schedule the way it is, provided no more games get cancelled, we're 10 games in the last 28 days of the season, and it's no different to other teams towards the top end. And it's a crazy schedule, but what can we do? We've just got to concentrate, take each game as it comes, start on a Saturday, and then I said we've got to be prepared for a real tough game 72 hours later away at Aylesbury Vale. So another side have picked up a good result in the week. Again, they've hit form at a good time, Risborough. They're right on our tails. I think there's probably 3 points between us now. We know if we want to keep Risborough out of contention towards the end of the season, we've got to make sure we take 6 points off them. And we know that they're going to be looking to take 6 points off us over the next 3 or 4 weeks. Obviously, the game was due to be played last Saturday. The pitch, unfortunately, was saturated. So it's a Thursday night, and they're not easy, because when you're playing Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and like I said, I'm not the only manager in that boat. There are other managers, so before people get on their soapboxes and start having a moan about me moaning, it is what it is. We've got to grind it out, we've got to get on with it. Until everything changes and until people say we're going to change the entire fixture list, that's what we're dealing with. So from the team's perspective, from my perspective, from everybody's perspective within the club, we've got to just make sure that when we get back to home game next Thursday against Risborough, we've got to be our best. Like I said last week in my pre-match for Risborough, they're a good side. They've got a lot of experience. They've got a lot of players there that were there last season that deserved to go up but didn't. And we know it's another really, really tough test, and we're going to have to rotate the squad. There's no way we're going to get that level of football in the next 4 games. We're not going to get 360 minutes out of players. It just won't happen. As fit as these boys are, so players are going to get opportunities, and they're not only fighting for opportunities to stay in the team for the end of season running, a lot of those are fighting for opportunities to still be here next season, because whilst we've still got 4.5 weeks left of the season, I am still very mindful of the fact I've got to start making some tough decisions shortly about next season, and forget what league we're in, forget if we go up, if we stay in this division, whatever it is, we've got to look at players that we feel that can kick us on. So it's going to be a really fascinating last 28 days. It's going to be busy, but hopefully we're going to bring loads of points in that period of time and have a really good end of season.